This person dropped out of one of the best universities in the world, Stanford University, at just 20 years old, and all to chase his first tech startup dream. And he failed, miserably. But today, 20 years later, that same young dreamer became the CEO of OpenAI. Yes, one of the most relevant organizations in the tech world, and the global pioneer of artificial intelligence, becoming one of Microsoft's most important strategic allies, and the architect of unprecedented business models. This is the story of the man who created ChatGPT, the AI system that reached 100 million users in 2 months, faster than any digital product in history. Sam Altman was born in Chicago in 1985, but he grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. He was raised in a Jewish household. His mother was a dermatologist and his father a real estate agent. He also had 2 brothers, Jack and Max, and a sister, Annie. Technology was always around in his family, and Sam was no exception. At 8 years old, he got his first computer, an Apple Macintosh, and from that exact moment, his life changed forever. He was completely hooked. In his teenage years, he attended John Burroughs School, where he excelled as an outstanding student in math and programming. But during his early adolescence, Sam, at just 16 years old, decided to come out to his family. Growing up in a Jewish family in Missouri, which by the way is the conservative heartland of America, being gay is complicated to say the least. At 19, in 2004, Sam got into Stanford University to study computer science. Most people would think the reason to attend such a great university would be to graduate and get a job at a recognized tech company. But Sam is different. Sam had a master plan. He didn't go to Stanford to get a simple degree. He went to Stanford to get access. Access to the greatest minds in tech. Access to Silicon Valley. And access to a high-level network of contacts worth millions of dollars. After just 2 years, Sam drops out of Stanford. The first part of his plan? Complete. But now, the real journey to his biggest dreams was about to begin. When Sam leaves Stanford, he decides to take the entrepreneurial leap. He creates Looped, a location-sharing app that allowed users to share their real-time location with friends. The idea was novel and attractive. However, the financial risk of this project was high from the start. But at this moment in his life, a name appears that will change his destiny forever. Paul Graham. Paul, a computer science genius, had just created a new experiment called Y Combinator, a program to invest in startups created by crazy young people with futuristic ideas in Silicon Valley. And Looped was part of Y Combinator's first historic batch. They invested $17,000. I know, $17,000 doesn't sound like much, right? But Sam wasn't buying money. He was buying access to Paul Graham, Jessica Livingston, and the YC network. In this point of the story, it's worth making a distinction between 2 concepts in the world of financial investment. Dumb money. They give you $1 million, they don't help. They just want returns. Smart money. They might give you much less, like Sam's $17,000, but they connect you with everyone. They teach you how to build. They open doors. Sam wasn't just building a startup. He was entering the most important club in Silicon Valley. Paul Graham saw something in him immediately. It wasn't just the idea, really. It was the way he thought. Paul even said later, quote, "Sam was the most ambitious founder we'd ever seen. While other creators wanted to make a good app, Sam was always one step ahead. He talked about changing the way humans interact with technology, going deeper and deeper into layers of thought that wouldn't just help him invent something novel, it would give him the ability to transform the world we live in and the way we relate to it, and he would achieve it. But first, a crushing blow was coming for him and his product. A situation so critical that it would fatally defeat most people. Despite Looped getting deals with mobile carriers, appearing in the press, getting the necessary attention to secure massive contracts, everyone thought it was going to explode in the market. But a giant problem was present. The technology wasn't ready for Sam's vision yet. The phones were slow, GPS was imprecise, and people simply didn't want to share their location. The leap was too high, and neither people nor devices were willing to make it. User adoption was very low. Sam tried several financial models: revenue sharing by subscription, direct distribution on phones, total carrier dependency, premium services, but they weren't achieving the expected results. Looped was the right idea in the wrong year. Looped didn't die immediately though. Sam fought for more than 8 years, trying to save his work, his company, but the growth simply never came. While Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram exploded, Looped barely survived, but was far from dominating the market. Sam, in the midst of his frustration and failed attempts, decides in 2012 to sell the company. Despite never getting the expected results, he manages to close a deal for over $40 million. And while that sounds like a huge sum of money, in Silicon Valley, it's actually a pretty low result. Here's where I ask you an important question. After fighting tirelessly for nearly a decade to launch your company to success and never achieving the goal you set for yourself, would you give up? This is the point where the world divides into two types of people. The first type: after receiving a low blow, a job rejection, an economic bankruptcy, a romantic breakup, a poorly executed idea, they give up. They let themselves be broken by pain and frustration. They fill themselves with resentment and anger. They conform to staying at the same level. They stop trying. But then there's a minority in the world. There's a small group of people who can be hit, can fall, can be subjected to horrible situations from which many would believe there's no way out. But they keep fighting. They get back up, no matter the time, no matter the money, no matter if the wind blows against them. They try again.